Listen, I'm sure there are plenty of women who fantasize about playing doctor with the dreamy cast of Grey's Anatomy, but this woman actually gets paid to do it. Ellen Pompeo has been giving us a healthy dose of drama for 12 seasons. Tonight, the fictional head of surgery opens up.
Look at this, it's the emergency entrance.
Yes, this is the emergency entrance.
This is the emergency room.
Over there is where I think the Denny Duquette Memorial Clinic is.
Can you believe you've been walking on this set for 13 years?
After more than a dozen seasons of Grey's Anatomy, Ellen Pompeo's character, Meredith Grey, is living a life as racy as ever. Her new lover, Dr. Nathan Riggs.
Okay, this could make things a little... Just show me.
At the end of the last season, there was perhaps a new love interest in Cars. Is Meredith ready? Is the audience ready? And does this sort of put into question, do we get more than one soulmate in life?
You know, you can have a soulmate in your 20s, and you thought he was the greatest guy ever. Then when you're 40, you're someone completely different. And that person is your soulmate for that chapter in your life. Sometimes it just feels like it's flown by.
Yeah.
Over the years, we've watched Dr. Grey grow from a love-struck intern
That was amazing.
to the confident head of general surgery.
10 Blade. I get to be, you know, smart. I get to be funny. I get to drive every story.
Fans have seen Grey through love and loss, from near-death experiences to that shocking car crash that took the life of her romantic soulmate on the show, neurosurgeon Dr. Derek Shepard.
It's okay. You go.
McDreamy's demise left many thinking the show would tank, but it's actually hotter than ever, attracting a new generation of fans, making it ABC's most popular drama.
What do you think the secret to the success is?
I think that social media and digital streaming and all of that has helped it tremendously. Also, the older viewers who have been with us since the beginning, I think the change is precisely what makes them stay with the show.
There's no change in store for Pompeo, though, who decided years ago that staying put was a smart career move. She was headed to movie stardom, snagging roles in movies like Catch Me If You Can and Old School. She didn't land her big TV breakthrough in Grey's until she was 33. 3 years later, her contract was up for renegotiation.
If I go, I'm 36 and I have to go out into the landscape and try to get jobs and deal with, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I talented enough? Am I all this?
Am I young enough?
Yeah, am I young enough? And at that point, you know, you really have to sort of delineate your ego from everything.
It seems as though there aren't as many meaty roles, you know, for women of a certain age.
You know, we're starting to see that change now, but not dramatically enough.
When you age on television, what makes it so hard?
Your ego. You know, to see your skin doesn't look the same.
But you are the sort of poster child for aging gracefully, because you don't want to cover up every flaw or every wrinkle that comes your way.
Well, I think as an actor, flaws are a necessity. Nobody's perfect, and I'm not, and I'm okay with that.
There's something glorious about aging, too.
Yeah, there's something, the wisdom that you get. Really, all you have in your youth is your looks.
And so when the looks fade, what are you left with?
Hopefully a fantastic character and integrity and a soul and compassion. You still have all the things that whoever put us on this planet intended us to be.
Pompeo grew up in the working-class suburb of Everett, Massachusetts. She tragically lost her mother at the age of 4.
How has that informed the way you play Meredith and also the way you parent?
Oh, I mean, it's informed my whole life. I am incredibly in touch with my emotions. I have a level of compassion and empathy that's debilitating sometimes.
She draws on that experience when she portrays Meredith Grey, who also lost her mother.
You are anything but ordinary, Meredith.
And it even shapes the way she parents.
I'm probably a little overprotective, a little overbearing. I tell my daughter how amazing she is, probably a little too much.
She and her husband, music producer Chris Ivory, are raising 2 children.
I'm raising biracial kids. And so I'm curious,
As am I.
As are you, what, if any, special lessons you impart to your children?
I don't impart, I don't necessarily speak to my children about race. I just make sure that they have friends of all ethnicities.
Mommy?
Yes.
Why did Aunt Maggie stop having sex with DeLuca?
How does your parenting differ from Meredith's parenting?
I don't think Meredith is really a parent. I think Meredith is like, I don't know, the kids are chained in the basement or something. I don't really know where they are. Couldn't be more different.
In what way?
I don't drink. Very rarely. I may
Really?
have a margarita once in a while, but yeah, I don't drink the way Meredith. And if I drank, I wouldn't drink out of the bottle. I think I'd pour it in a glass. I don't have sex in cars.
You mind moving this tail wagon?
No,
Okay.
if I were not married and I met, I would probably find a bed somewhere.
The one thing she and her character do have in common is the fact that they're both working moms.
We lean on each other. That's not a sign of weakness or bad parenting if that's where you're going with this. It takes a village, and we have a village.
At some point, there is a world for Ellen Pompeo beyond Grey's. What are you burning to do?
I think personally I'd rather conquer something I haven't been able to conquer, like producing, which is very challenging, really, really challenging, but I gotta beat it. I
Yeah.
gotta get it.
And if she's at all like Meredith Grey, you can't count her out.
And the drama continues on Grey's Anatomy Season 13, which premieres this Thursday.